Evening, welcome to highlights of the 2009 European Grand Prix from Valencia here on BBC Three. Now, you would have thought that Lewis Hamilton winning last time out in Hungary would have meant that McLaren and Lewis would have been all over the papers in the last few days. Well, no. Of course, it was Michael Schumacher who hogged the headlines. Ferrari thought about bringing back the 7-times world champion. In the end, though, a neck injury prevented this remarkable story. However, Luca Badoer, the loyal Ferrari test driver, was finally given his chance to shine. And did he? Well, you'll find out very shortly when we bring you highlights of precisely what happened during the race. But let's have a look at the way that the driver standings were looking coming into this race. And Jenson Button is the man who's been at the front all season long. Mark Webber was his new challenger after the last couple of races. 51.5 points for Mark Webber, who's just edged ahead of Sebastian Vettel. He told us he wants to deal with his teammate first and then Jenson Button. So, big weekend for Red Bull and a big weekend for Brawn. Could the heat improve their pace? Well, you'll find out shortly. But first, here are the headlines from qualifying with Ted Kravitz.
While thousands soaked up the sun on Valencia's beach, Formula One brought its summer holiday to an end with a session that required cars and drivers to keep their cool. With track temperatures the hottest since Bahrain, the key was not to overheat the tyres. Jarno Trulli, an early victim of the slippery track surface. But the story of Q1 was a Ferrari qualifying in last position on merit for the first time in F1 history. Luca Badoer is deputising for Felipe Massa after Michael Schumacher had to pull out. But his best was 2.5 seconds slower than teammate Raikkonen. Eric Clapton seemingly not the only slow hand at Ferrari this weekend.
For me, this race, as I told you in a conference, is a test. I just have to run, I just have to don't make mistake, crash the car, because I did run and be better on the next race.
We knew, as we said, that it was difficult for him. We need to stay him, give him the maximum support. It will be too easy, to let him down in this condition.
And that support includes keeping Luca in the car for the next race in Spa.
That's not what we have to say now. I mean, for sure, the priority is to finish the race and keep the concentration. There's no need to say that in this moment,
The other new boy fared much better. Romain Grosjean has replaced Nelson Piquet in the Renault and was just 0.3 off teammate Fernando Alonso's pace. Into final qualifying, and Mark Webber's Red Bull overheated its soft tyres in the middle of the lap and left the Aussie way down in 9th.
What's been the problem?
Lap times the other people.
Fernando Alonso seemed to please his home crowd after extracting the maximum from the Renault.
The race will be physically very tough, but we did our maximum in quali. 8th position, maybe we are not so happy, but it's the maximum we could do today, I think.
Sebastian Vettel slip-slided his way to 4th with an impressive lap, but the Brawn is back to its brilliant best here. A hot track playing to their strengths.
It's not too bad a position. Vettel's just in front, but hopefully not for long. And obviously the McLarens were very quick this session and impossible to catch, so it's not too bad.
But at the front, confirmation that McLaren's comeback is complete, with a couple of stunning laps from Lewis Hamilton.
It's a 1-2 for McLaren. Hamilton from Kovalainen.
That second from Kovalainen was particularly impressive, given he's in a car that does not have all the performance updates that Hamilton's has. Rubens Barrichello's well placed in 3rd and still feels he's in contention for the world title.
I really thought I could have put the car on pole. It's very close. I hope I have a little bit more fuel than the two ahead of me.
It's been a fantastic effort from everybody in the team, I think, to introduce the upgrades for our car and consistently being near the top now. It's a great feeling.
It's been a long time since we've been battling for pole positions, and if you saw qualifying, you'd see that only did one lap. Q1, Q2 only needed we had the pace and we were able to do that, but I think still the Brawns are very quick. We still don't have the best car.
So Lewis Hamilton's first pole since China last year, Kovalainen alongside. Barrichello and Vettel, the first of the championship contenders on row 2. Jenson Button will have to work for the win from 5th. Nico Rosberg showing Williams' pace in 7th, ahead of Mark Webber, his worst since Bahrain. Adrian Sutter with a noteworthy drive to 12th in the Force India. A bad weekend for Toyota and Nakajima in the second Williams, while home driver Jaime Alguersuari has a Ferrari for company on the back row.
So who's hot and who's not as Formula One returns to competition after its enforced summer break? I suppose in one way this Valencia street circuit with its stop-go-stop nature, all 25 corners and heavy braking demands, has had everybody feeling the heat. Temperatures in the garages have been more than 40 degrees at times. Track temperature hit 50 on Friday afternoon. Can we expect any charges from lower down the grid? 3 of the top 6 powered by Kers, and we're almost ready to go. Those red lights A light on the gantry, they're out, and away goes Hamilton and Kovalainen.